привет. У нас тут 8-я часть прохождения Outer Worlds. Вот, мы потихонечку начинаем. Сейчас будем тестировать, кстати, плавность картинки на выходе стрима, потому что вроде как какие-то проблемы были, не знаю, с чем связаны. Да, вроде то же самое, хрен его знает. Ладно, поехали. Исправить все равно быстро не получится. Будет так, как будет, как говорится. Этой игре ничего не помогает, ни SSD, нет ничего вообще. Нам он подгружается, фризы, такие микрофризы. Вот эти. Да это даже не микрофризы, это по факту фризы и есть. Микрофризы поменьше времени идут. А здесь прям такие прям явно тормоза непонятные. То есть оптимизация вообще убогая, блядь. В принципе, у меня каких-то особых претензий не было в игре. Что это? Вермифобия. Нет, конечно. То есть у меня, в принципе, особо не было каких-то нареканий к, ну, вот к оригинальной игре, к первому DLC, все там было хорошо. Но я не стримил. Единственное, что я могу сказать, я играл просто в оффлайне, чисто для себя, как бы я проходил. Вот, а тут то ли со стримом не тянет, то ли что, я не пойму, блядь. Вот, хотя игрушка, давайте будем честны, не очень она требовательна к железу. Вот, и идет она, в принципе, даже на стареньких системах. Со Спенсером, да, Спенсер. Да, емкостей. Так, Спенсер, блядь, ебаный. Ой, черт.
I could not have waited another instant for your presence. The Canes and the Canids, Act 2, Scene 6. I played a love-struck janitor. Ask me anything at all. I might even give you a straight answer. Oh, have you now? Please do go on. Don't leave me in suspense.
Так.
I did indeed. With Halsey and Helen parading her fame about, I was left without an acting partner. Burbage is no exception. His acting protocols were nothing short of a joke. So I decided to make some modifications, installing him with some of my old serial quotes, as I think improved his range. The way he bungled about with that weapon of his hardly befitted a dissident, so I modified it as well. He's much quicker on the draw now, though he's still a machine. What? That damned bellhop promised discretion. Well, if you must know, it's, an appetite suppressant. How do you think I keep my form so lithe? Terror glands keep me from feeling hunger pangs. Tampering? No. I just happened to be passing through the kitchen and saw a dish that looked good. If being hungry is a crime, you better indict 3/4 of Halcyon. I want to add another to the pile. Oh, no. Wait, no use in pretending, is there? As it so happens, I may not have had the terror gland acquired for personal use. I may have placed it in Bellamy's meal. But before you indict me, please, just listen. I wasn't trying to kill her. Lie is such a strong word. But even if I had chosen to poison myself, the danger should have been minimal. Terror glands aren't supposed to be lethally poisonous. They're supposed to cause extreme lethargy, as if you'd inhaled several quarts of Spectrum vodka. She would have had to eat 6 or 7 of the glands to die, and even then it would be an extended, arduous process. I was just getting to that. I only wanted her to be incapacitated during the Brown unveiling. With her out of commission, the next available celebrity, myself, would get to host the unveiling. Please think twice about telling the administrator of my misdeeds. If he learns the truth, what's left of my career will be left in shambles. Tell him it was a poisonous mushroom or a bite from some poisonous insect. An accident. I promise I shall make up for my actions. Pay to erect a statue in Helen's honor, or perhaps even dedicate a performance to her memory. My law, if you aren't a sadist. If I have a coronary before you make your decision, I will do my utmost to haunt you.
Сейчас галопом по Европам, короче, будем очень быстро. Ну, стараться, по крайней мере. Ходить это все. Пошустрее. Не затягивать особо. Хотя, когда у меня это получалось? Давай, кому я вру, господи? Сам себе, что ли? Так. Нужно поговорить. Куда я пришел, дурачок? Ну, хоть загрузки быстрые.
Inspector, I've just received word that Constable Keene is dead. Please tell me it isn't true. Halcyon Helen, Leora Blossom, Maria Keene. There's a murderer on the loose, Inspector. You must stop them. I don't have Maria to count on anymore, so I'm counting on you. Maria devoted her entire life to our vision. She was absolutely committed to our company, to our project. I promised myself I'd reward her after we launched Spectrum Brown. I'd make sure she was comfortable for the rest of her life. She was also our voice of reason. She was sensible, and I appreciated her advice. I never got to tell her that.
Блять, вот этот подозрительный чувак какой-то. Вот. Вполне возможно, что это он.
Make them suffer, Inspector. Excellent. I trust you have a name for our poisoner. Oh, I am disappointed. I'd always believed Mr. Woolrich a man of high character. It pains me to order the arrest and detention of someone I admired. I'd like you to continue investigating Helen's murder. You've found the poisoner, but her killer remains at large.
Правитель, блядь. Давайте, ладно. Что там дальше у нас? Князь заразы. Элла Тинсли, пропавшим в Грузии. Смотрите, кабинет Седрика. Принц Тасбола. О, давайте вот это вот. Поехали. Покинуть. Поехали. Робот самый, кстати, сильный напарник в этой игре, походу. У него самый большой урон. По крайней мере, ульта у него вообще просто мощная. Блин, знаете, что еще прикольное такое? Ну как прикольное? С негативным темпом. Это то, что я никак не могу войти в ритм игр, короче, вот я чуть больше месяца я как вам сказать? Кстати, вот так. У него. Чем мне нравится, что вот эти чуваки, вот эти буйные носители, они постоянно здесь спавнятся в одних и тех же местах. То есть вот на этой точке, вот на перекрестке, и вот там, около этого дерева. То есть из раза в раз, в одном и том же месте. Просто постоянный спаун, блять. Вот. Жесть какая-то. Вот так вот, возвращаясь к теме. Не могу обратно вернуться к, как это сказать, своему саперная броня. К своему ритму игровому. Какая-то вот на меня дикая усталость нападает. Может быть, это витаминоз, может витаминок попить, кстати, можно купить. Не знаю, что это за херня. Короче, я вот, допустим, сажусь, час-полтора, и я все, я уже просто не могущий. Такая вот херня. Причем час-полтора именно в день. Я вот больше вопросов тупо не выдерживаю, блять. Кстати, смотрите, обратите внимание, сколько там еще. Вон там. Какие там просторы, да, исследовать. И вон там еще, блядь. Пиздец, блядь. Так еще тут и все обследовал вот на этом острове. И в садах вон те, блядь, ебучих тоже. И все обследовал. Ёбнешься, короче. Еще вот тут, посмотрите, сколько. Пиздец.
Can't imagine where you misplaced your old pair.
Да. Я надеюсь, к моменту.
And that looks just like my old.
Me and ready to kill germs.
Надеюсь, к выходу нормальных игр в скором времени, да? Я придумал. С кем вы там сражаетесь? А, вот тут.
Hey, you.
Кстати,
Come take a look.
а что ты там пшикаешь там? Кого вы тут бомбили-то, ёптать?
Flawlessly finished.
Еще выйдут игры, я надеюсь, что я буду в форме к этому моменту и смогу часами стримить.
I
Хотя бы
say,
часов
this
по 5.
pocket watch has someone's initials inscribed on it.
Must be an antique.
But aren't those your initials?
Ha! What a coincidence.
Hey, you look like you need some stuff. Fancy watch? Spare cufflink? Single earring? You want it, I've got it. Junk? My friend, this is not junk. These are people's prized possessions. Priceless personal effects, beloved souvenirs and knickknacks. Huh? Oh, well, some of the guests left this stuff behind. I would certainly not admit to that even if it were true. Take a look for yourself. Me? Oh, sure. Terrific. Never better. And as soon as I pay off my docking fines, I'll be back on my feet and in my ship. So it turns out Slug has some pretty strict rules on vehicle docking, and I may have broken a few of them. Who'd think Slug would be so strict? Let's see. There's docking without prior authorization, double docking, docking into adjacent vessels, docking while under the influence of alcohol, docking while under the influence of caffeinoids, and loitering. And that reminds me that I've got delinquency fees accruing on top of the original docking fines. Which is why I'm hoping you'll purchase my fine wares.
Есть, я не думаю, что мне будет это интересно. Оливье консьержа 3-го класса. Какая-то хуйня, блядь. Скорость ходьбы, да, параш полная. И тут параш. И здесь параш. Обновление мирных напарников. Удлинитель дистанции уклонения. Хуйня какая-то. Навыки, незаметность. Вот это вот хлам. Полнейший. Продать.
If there is anything else, it's good to know we can purchase a replacement here.
Есть что-то интересное внизу? Да нет. Тут.
Sure he's not in the museum.
Even if he is, no one will think you dressed the same as him on purpose.
I was at breakfast first. If anything, he's dressed the same as me.
But we can part your hair on the other side, just in case.
Где-то здесь эти шприцы.
discrepancy detected nearby.
Ну и чё тут? Опачки, смотрите-ка. Приколюха.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Убили его все-таки. Как же это было предсказуемо?
Discrepancy detected. Rizzo's company policy clearly states that all proprietary mascots must exhibit signs of physical life. Excellent observation, Inspector. Have you deduced a possible cause of death? Unusually small entry wounds indicate exotic weaponry. Closest approximations are 1. Incident involving a game of darts. 2. The Needler. Yes, Inspector. The Needler. Bespoke handgun carried and wielded by Halcyon Helen. Famously deployed by Halcyon Helen in Terror on Monarch. This weapon was responsible for executing the Chief of the Savages, played by Spencer Woolridge. This unit is incapable of providing ethical advice. This unit is also incapable of answering rhetorical questions.
Кодированная это сбольная форма. Интересно. Видите, у него еще это вот хуйня. Как это назвать? Паразит на шее. Вот что.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This empty bottle of spirits does not belong to any known corporate brand. Suspicious residue detected. Excellent deduction, Inspector. Imbibing of unauthorized beverages is strictly prohibited under Rizzo's company law. Ingredients include antiseptic alcohol, sucrose, and unidentifiable miscellaneous organic material. Closest match. Counterfeit spirits available at the Piraeus spaceport.
Customer, if you intend to use this telescope for sightseeing purposes, please cleanse the eyepiece prior to skin-to-metal contact. Customer, if you intend to use this telescope for sightseeing purposes, please cleanse the eyepiece prior to skin-to-metal
Замечание
contact.
очень хорошее, я бы так сделал, кстати. ОКРщик хули. Ну знаете, да? Обсессивно-компульсивное расстройство. Так. Ох, мать твою. закончили. Вернитесь... А, нет, встретитесь с Берти у космопорта.
Neutralized.
На нас тут никто не накинется в случае чего. Где эта долбаная хуйня? Ладно, окей. Увидали? Птица. Ой, похуй. Но зато она теперь летает по скрипту. Но убить ее невозможно. Прикольно. Блять, как же так? Блять. Вот видите, какая ебаная игра, блядь, снопорылая. Дает тебе нормально запрыгивать на эти препятствия. Сука, как бесит. Турист. Кто? Турист. Турист. Продать. Выправка офицера Титан. Сейчас посмотрим. 49. Бронированная. Блок вдохновения. Да. Да, игрушка, конечно, не вызывает какого-то, знаете, вдохновения, что ли. Рутинная, короче. Давайте, наверное, сразу космопорт первый. Да, давайте. Берти, черная дыра.
Hey, could I talk to you for a second?
Что ты нахер ты мне даешь? Как это сказать? Квест такой поломанный.
What do you want? Not so loud. How'd you know it was me?
Я тоже не понял, как ты его, как бы я его узнал вообще.
Yeah, that makes sense. You must be a good one to sniff me out.
Да, да,
I'm
да.
in no mood to sign autographs, and I hate disappointing fans. So I'm lying low. You know, incompleto. Oh, yeah, I guess it's kinda neato. Oh, what's it matter? Helen's gone. She's gone and nothing I do will bring her back. I've been trying to find who did this. That's what she would do. Track down the killer and bring them to justice. But I'm stumped. And not very clever. Being bright was always Helen's thing.
There are many types of intelligence, Mr. Holcomb. For example, your, expertise on the field. Your hack attack is nothing short of brilliant.
Oh, so you're the inspector! Hope you have more luck figuring things out than me. You probably want to ask me some questions, huh? I'm sure you're asking everybody questions, so you can find Helen's killer. So, how do I help? I was getting blotto with the rest of the Rangers. You know, soaked, muddled, preserved.
He's saying he was drunk, Captain.
The team noticed I was in a bad way when I got back to the hotel. When I told them Helen and I were Splitsville, they wanted to cheer me up. We were up the pole afore evening. The hotel staff said we was bothering the other guests on account of all the crying and yelling and practice body tackling. Zeke said we should move elsewhere, get some air. We ended up at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve. I think somebody wanted to pet a woolly cow? There was this one cow off away from the others. Zeke figured it'd be a laugh to get her drunk. One thing led to another, and I think we might have maybe, you know, stolen her. I don't know. We were drunk, and we made bad choices. She was all alone. I know how that feels now. It's so hard to be all by your lonesome. My memory's a little muddled after that. I guess me and the team got split up, because I know I was on my own at the pilot house for a time. I reckon not. See, I went to the weather station. I was looking for where Helen stashed her data pad for safekeeping, right? She'd asked me to get it, mind. I wasn't stealing. I'm no thief. Nah, she sent a note to my hotel room before we, you know, split. I don't know how long it was sitting there before I noticed. Sure did. Only there was a guard out there who found me. She started yelling about how I was trespassing and in serious trouble. Thing is, it was real dark out there. So dark, she couldn't tell who I was. Long story short, I got out of there. Ran like the Rangers were down by 3, and I just bronzed the toss ball in the Friday zone. Yeah, I mean, no. Nope. No one else. I don't. All we did was talk, I swear. It's just, I don't want to tell you. I'll get in trouble.
Let Sam help you get a handle on murdering germs. Whether through incineration, vaporization, pulverization, or electrostrangulation, Sam kills it all.
Did that automech just call me a germ?
Preparing high-powered acid spray sanitary dispenser for firing.
All right. Jeez. Look, I talked to Auric, okay? Auric West. Hangs out around the spaceport. He's the one who taught me the breathing exercises I use to calm down. Confidant is like confidence. What's torrid mean? Don't get the wrong idea, okay? Auric's not a bad guy. He's just got an unusual job. So now you have the whole story. After I talked to Auric, I went back to the hotel. Woke up the next morning with Helen's data pad in my hand and the hangover to end all hangovers. Don't know if I'll ever drink again. Oh, yeah, you'll probably want to... Yeah, of course. Of course. Helen sure did have the prettiest handwriting. Here. Take it. Either she was writing in code or I'm dumber than a bag of hammers. I tried for hours to crack her notes, but it's like I said. Being bright was Helen's thing. Okay. And listen, I want to help you find her killer, Inspector. I knew Helen better than anybody. And it'd be handy to have a guy like me around, in case anybody gives you trouble. I get it. I'll head back to the Grand Colonial then. Unless you need me for anything else. What do you want to know? Tossball was, is, and always will be the greatest game in the universe. And I would give it up in a heartbeat to have Helen back. I remember sending her the recording, but... Law, I was halfway to preserved by then. I don't know what was on it. When I realized what I'd done, I panicked. If I'd said something dumb, folks might think I was involved in her death. I was scared of looking suspicious. You listened to it? What'd I say to Helen? Did I sound drunk? Thank the architect. I hope she heard it. I don't want the last time she heard my voice to be when I was all angry at the orchards. Yeah? Auric's a businessman. He sells stuff you can't get elsewhere. You know, alternative stuff. We're talking sort of science, crockery, whole supplements. Probably. I can never remember. I just know I trust Auric more than I do any sawbones. Maybe putting effort accelerators in your body isn't always the right call, you know? Maybe there are other options. Maybe I don't take all the accelerators Rizzo's pushes on me. People get worked up about this kind of thing is all. Not that my personal business should be any concern of theirs. Yeah? Oric hangs around the spaceport most days. Since he's not here at the bar, he's most likely over by the buy-up bunks at the shipping yard. What about her? I wish I knew. Must have been something I did. At the picnic, Helen just kept saying she didn't want to drag me into her world. Maybe one of the higher-ups in motion pictures was giving her trouble over us? I don't know. I tried to understand, but I don't. Rival actresses, maybe? I don't know too much about the motion picture industry. Except for Helen's pictures, obviously. Those I probably know by heart. Seen them about 100 times each. Look, you and me, we both know I'm a big, dumb tossball star, right? That's what I'm good at. Rizzo's knows it. The fans know it. Helen, she saw me as more than that. She saw someone who had more to offer than big muscles and a signature black hole stomp. Being with Helen was magic. She was magic. There ain't good enough words for something as special as what we had together. What do you want to know?
Hey, pal. Over here.
Ну, хитрая морда какая, да, Лев? Цветочек.
Hey there. You looking to unwind, friend? Maybe you're on your way to the bar for a good time? Maybe you're interested in something a little better than beer or Adreno? Something with a little more kick? Bold claim, I know. But I wouldn't lie to you, friend. The name's Oric. I deal in, shall we say, holistic pharmaceuticals, natural substances and the like. You know, alternative stuff. I know. Ooh, it came out of the ground. That's where worms live. I get it. I do. Why go for that homegrown shit when you could be pumping your body full of effort accelerators? Says it right on the Anti-Cleo's box. Better than nature, right? Well, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, pal. Those pharmaceuticals the corporations manufacture, not all of them are as good for you as the board wants you to believe. Alternatives. That's the way to go, pal. Trust me. No matter what ails you, I got what you need. What do I sell? I've got premium shit, my friend. Vitamins like you wouldn't believe. Calcium, vitamin D, reverse vitamin D. I got everything, my friend. You got stress problems? I got stress solutions. Aromatherapy eases the mind. Diluted mantisaur essence, best kept secret in the business. And if you're a real freak, techniques to calm yourself by fooling your own mind. If they can tame the rage of a certain well-known tossball star, they can help anybody. Wait, you ain't a sheriff, right? You gotta tell me if you're a sheriff. I'll be honest, I don't really know where that puts us. Can't argue with that logic. Yeah, I know, Bertie. What do you want to know? He may or may not buy alternatives from me from time to time. A little diluted mantisaur essence here, a little vitamin B negative there. He's stressed out of his mind, the poor guy. Everyone knows his name. Can't turn around without having to sign an autograph. Then you throw in playing tossball for a living. Violence like that, it does things to a body. It does things to the head. Yeah, that was me. Bertie's got a temper, but he's not a bad kid, you know? He's trying to work on it. Come on. Bertie's a damn good hacker, but taking that many blows to the noggin would scramble anyone's upstairs business. I know it's knocked a few of his memories loose. I worry about him, that's all. He's a good kid. Got a good heart. Yeah. Damn shame about that. Bertie thought the world of Helen, you know. He showed up drunk at my place wanting to talk about the breakup. Helen dumped him, he said. Boy, was he in a bad way. I'd never seen him like that before. We talked for a while, and when he felt better, I sent him back to the hotel. Told him to drink more water and get some sleep.
I wonder if all these cargo containers are stored here for any legitimate reason, or just to give Sublight more opportunities for larceny.
Inspector. I'm pleased to hear that. Bertie Holcomb is a valuable asset to the Rizzo's Rangers property. When Helen was murdered, Bertie was nowhere to be found. The timing of his disappearance is unfortunate. Try not to feel too bad for him. Bertie is a brilliant athlete. The universe has balanced his talent by making him a slackwit. Yes, I know about the woolly cow. Constable Keene had Bertie's teammates arrested for unauthorized inebriation of livestock. Bertie himself was nowhere to be found during the incident. Ironically, if Keene had arrested him, he'd have the perfect alibi. Be plain with me, Inspector. Do you believe Black Hole Bertie killed Helen? I'm relieved to hear that. I happen to be something of a fan of the hack attack. I'd hate to see him processed for murder, but we need to be absolutely sure. I'd like you to continue your investigation. Notify me as soon as you're ready to make a formal accusation. You may be right. I'll prepare a writ of arrest. Keeping Bertie in a cell might spare this company a few thousand bits in repair work. I'll make my report of your investigation into Bertie. Do you have anything else for me?
Где мне ее искать, эту тварь, блядь? Так. Куда мне ее там? Ёб твою мать, блядь. Вы видели? Пиздец полный. Ого.
That's a hunting reserve over there. In the clouds above a gas giant.
Didn't I?
Makes about as much sense as any of this, I suppose.
Really? Considering the circumstances, that's the euphemism you decide to use?
Туда надо пиздовать.
I'm thinking of reserving a wilderness safari. Wear a fancy hat, fire a rifle, murder some wildlife, you know? It could be quite scintillating.
A rifle? The last time you tried to hold a firearm, you dropped it down a flight of stairs, triggered its automatic fire, and wounded 13 hotel employees.
Well, I didn't hit anyone important. Come on, I won't mess anything up this time.
Интересно. Давайте попробуем. Викарий. Макс. Что у него? 758. 33 уровень. А это? 35 584. Скорость атаки, урон сильного удара. Очень приятно, хорошо. Так. Ого.
Degreaser levels insufficient for area cleaning.
Ёб твою мать. Блин, а как туда попасть? Однозначно не по этой хуйне. Это 100 пудов. Это 100 пудов не по этой, да. Соответственно. Надо возвращаться. через вон ту, наверное, да? Через, точнее, не ту, а тот остров. Скорее всего. Ой, тормоза какие, боже. Странно, странно. Что так тормозит? Может, из-за стрима? Хотя у меня другие игрушки не менее мощные. Ну, как сказать, мощные. То есть, вот эта игрушка сама по себе не очень требовательная. А другие так тоже. Точнее, другие тем более не были требовательными. У меня тот же самый Киберпанк вообще без всяких проблем стримился в свое время. Не знаю почему. Непонятная проблема. Да, тут я был. Погнали, дайте пройти. Гефест. Ого, 113. Ну хуёво. Я еще вниз тут не спускался. Тут есть пещера с левой стороны. А у меня сколько? Ну, просто чисто по фанчику. Меня все равно убить, конечно, никто не может. Ох, нихуя. 84. Вы видели это? 84, 84. Это мне нужно... Это мне нужно прокачивать. Себя.
Cycle active, industrial state.
Все.
Feels good. Feels fun. Your friend.
Object is tuned to be specialist. Will leave a stain.
Our victory is their defeat.
Ну, это типа просто... Да, получается получается просто пещера без каких-то входов, выходов отсюда. Окей. Зачистил. Хотя в следующий раз, если ты загрузишь игру, все равно здесь будут враги и респы постоянно. Ненавижу эту хуйню в играх. Это постоянный вот респаун идет врагов. Я считаю, так нельзя. Хуёвый геймдизайн. Ты зачистил, все, значит должна быть территория чистая. В следующий раз ты, проходя мимо, ты должен, ну как. Ну, все, ты зачистил, все должно быть спокойно. Вот. Ну или как в Готике, например. Ух, ёпт. Вот, или как в Готике сделано, например. То есть там так, первая глава. Например, первая глава. Видите, всякая хуйня. Охереть.
This is Silvio Tran, setting a new record for the Grand Colonial Bellhops Laundry Cart League. If you're listening to this, you're listening to history. And Daltrey, as we agreed, when I win, you're scraping terrorist shit off the windows for the rest of your contract. And you can stow the fear of heights routine because there's no way you're weaseling out of that, pal. Here goes. That's... Move the box! No, not... No!
Это он, короче, вот на этой тележке ехал. Вот с этого моста и въебался вот сюда вот. Подлетел, короче, и ударился в эту хуйню. Ну так вот, насчет как это сказать, врагов, да? То есть, допустим, первая глава. У тебя там есть, например, какие-то враги на карте. Вот. Ты зачищаешь сколько можешь. Там, конечно, остаются сильные враги все равно. Потом начинается вторая глава, например, кое-где появляются там, либо другие враги, либо там те же самые, там, ну, может, там меняются, короче, немножко появляется обратно. То есть в тех местах, которые ты зачистил, обратно появляются какие-то существа, которых нужно убить. Ну, или люди, например. То есть, если, например, в какой-то пещере жили люди, к примеру, и бандиты, например, в этой про готику говорю. Вот. Тут ты их, допустим, пришел, ты их убил. Вот. А потом в следующей главе в этой пещере уже там будут какие-то, ну, или орки, или какие-то другие животные, короче. И тебе нужно будет уже их, в общем, зачищать, скажем так. Ну, куда? Где-то что? Вот. То есть вот так вот. Потом третья глава начинается. То же самое. И там респ какой? Там не то, чтобы прям какой-то полный респ. Или там, например, столько же существ появляется, как до этого там было. Или, например, больше. Нет, там он какой-то своеобразный. То есть где-то меньше, где-то больше. Там где-то даже столько же. Короче, по-разному. Все это классно сделано. Например, здесь, видите, эту игру перезапустил, обратно враги появились. Это говно какое-то, блин. Это что, ММО-РПГ, что ли, блядь? То есть это сингловая игра. Такого быть здесь не должно. Все вот эти вот ответвления, тут ничего не будет. Ты просто ходишь по вот таким вот локациям, смотрите, по каким местам. Вот, ну вот здесь вот. Исследуешь тут вот местность, например, и все. А вот такие вот вещи, как вот, например, вот выходишь сюда, например, идти, и вот туда. Смысла нет никакого. Ничего ты там не найдешь. Я вот сколько раз не бегал. Так, не смог найти.
Excuse me, me, Gunther. I need to ask you something.
Who in the hell is Gunter? I told you to call me Hunter. Come on.
Oh, right. Hunter, have you seen a little mechanical wandering through here? Might have been wearing my hat.
I can't say I have. I can sell you a new hat if you want. Or some fine, legally obtained hunting supplies. You could go get that mechanical thief yourself.
She's not a thief. She's lost. I just want her back.
Водка бесплатно досталась.
Welcome to Hunter Legal's Legal Hunter Supplies. I am Hunter Legal. How might I help you today?
Почему охота перевели? Это просто Хантер он должен быть. С-Хантер, блядь. Какая охота? Товары для охоты товарища охоты, блядь. Товары для охоты товарища Хантера, ёпта. Я товарищ Хантер. Что за, блядь, сука, идиоты, ёпта.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean. It is a perfectly normal name for a shop dispensing hunter supplies.
Или они типа обыгрывают, что он Хантер переводится на русский охотник или охота.
Don't get smart with me. I'm just a shopkeep. Where better to sell hunter supplies than in the depths of the wilds, surrounded by creatures that are just waiting to devour you. I've got an excuse, but the Prophet and her retreat don't. And they're even farther out. Prophet said I should gift her some rifles to improve my aura or something. I told her what she could do with her aura. Haven't spoken to her since. But you look like you're smart enough to not make the decision that she'll invariably regret. Hunter supplies.
Тоже шмотки вот эти ебучие. Абсолютно бесполезные. Никогда ничего не покупал в этой игре.
Unusual. This whole land complex is a failed wildlife exhibition turned hunting reserve. You can't go 10 feet without stepping in unusual. But I reckon you're asking about people unusual. I'd go have a chat with the prophet of profitability. Maybe she can intuit you in the right direction or something. But she is mighty far in the depths of the reserve. Perhaps you should purchase one of my fine armaments for the journey.
Все понятно.
Oh, hey there, stranger. Don't mean to interrupt your business, but have you seen a stray mechanical wandering about? Hey, that's pretty good. I'll have to use that at my next mechanics meeting. But I take by your tone that you ain't seen anything matching my machine's description. Oh, that's not good. I hope she hasn't gotten herself into any trouble. Seems I'm running my mouth too much. My mechanical Betty up and wandered away a couple days back. I've been trying to track her, but the beasts make it hard. Personally, I prefer my organs inside my body. The shopkeep says I should buy one of his rifles and go looking myself, but like my machine, I'm not combat inclined.
SAM units excel at finding dirt in hidden places.
I know it's a pain, but I think I need some outside help. Job or no job, I'm not leaving Betty out in the wastes. Betty's just your standard tripod mechanical, though she probably is still wearing my hat. Without it, she seems kind of naked. Her main purpose is cacao milking, but the only cacaos in the reserve are close. Without a directive, she shouldn't have had reason to wander away from the milking area. That's what I was afraid of. You sound like you know your way around the mechanical mind. I'm contractually obligated to inform you that slug mechanicals are not notoriously inclined to malfunction, and any rumors to the contrary are slander. But yeah, usually even slug machines don't get lost on their own, so I guess I'm to blame. Setting Betty's search parameters is my job. Must have added a 0 where I shouldn't have. Hey, I ain't in the habit of intentionally losing company property. That'd be one hell of a violation. Besides, I'm rather fond of Betty. This is all just an unfortunate cycle of events. If you can help rectify it and get me my Betty back, I'll give you everything I got. Hey, thanks so much. It would have been mighty lonely without her. Being unemployed, I mean. Be lonely being unemployed. If you find Betty, try sneaking up and hacking her. If you can't do that, finding a way to stop her current routines should send her back home.
Sorry, but we're a little busy right now. I'm sure one of the other guys would be happy to give you a tour.
Lawrence, do you know who you're talking to? We always have time for the inspector.
The inspector? That's you? I am so sorry. We didn't know what we were doing. We're so sorry. It'll never happen again. Law, it's all over. I told you someone would catch on sooner or later, Belle.
Lawrence, let me do the talking here. Inspector, pay him no mind. I'm sure you've bigger saltuna to can than us. Don't pay him any mind, Inspector. His upper story's a little gap-toothed, if you know what I mean. But seeing as you insist on sticking your... That is, since you're so curious, I'll fill you in on what we're doing. We, misplaced some people on our last tour. Misplaced them in the maws of some local predators. Now we're stuck here wondering how to get their room keys. Here's one. We ain't done nothing illegal. The guests signed the proper waivers to come out here. Still, it'd be a pain for Slug if we don't make it look like they checked out too. Byzantines aren't always put off by paperwork alone, sadly.
We knew sooner or later this was gonna happen. We've got some hush money tucked away. If you can get those keys for us, it's all yours.
You kidding? You're welcome to.
Our bosses would want this situation resolved, just like us. We're the real victims here. The dead can't suffer anymore, but we can, and we will if we have to pay for all these lost keys. Did I just hear that right? The inspector is going to help us, Bill! Thank the stars.
We're not out of the woods yet. Let's just see what happens before we celebrate. We last saw the guests deeper in the wilderness, Inspector. That'd be a good place to look.
Скучно не вдохновляет игрушка. И сюжетно, и атмосферно, и графически как угодно. Вот. Давай. найти эту пророчицу прибыли, или как там называется. Так. Тут у нас что? Все заросло. Смотрите. Так, а наверх как-то можно подняться? И войти тоже нельзя, да? Правильно? Там византийский турист. Что-то все по пизде пошло у них. Какая-то авария, катастрофа, блядь. Угу. Вот сюда можно забраться. Дальше. Что? О, псили какие-то, да? Бронные. Давайте их встанем.
Sterling is this unit's middle name.
Never anger a man of the cloth.
Интересно. Блядь. Сука. Все. Перевес. Ладно, пойдем, а что делать?
One order of frickin' fan coming up.
Ну, честно скажу, замедление времени вообще просто абсолютно здесь не в тему. Очень сильно заебывает. Очень сильно заебывает. Плюющийся антидот. По сути-то и убивать мне их незачем. Опыт-то не идет уже. Максимальный уровень такой. Кстати, уровень 36, видите? 36 уровень, и все, дальше не идет. Полоска. Хотя по 3 уровня получается, на DLC ты берешь всего лишь. То есть, точнее, добавляется. В оригинальной кампании у тебя максимально 30-й, в первом DLC 33-й и сейчас 36-й. Такая вот хуйня получается. Хуёво. Могу честно сказать, это хуёво. Хотя бы 40-й бы сделали. Ну, то есть по 5. DLC. Так, это кто? С курса. Окей. Сразу видно
Though
оккультизм.
effective as a pest control method, cyanide is not intended for human ingestion.
Дающийся последователь. Ёрт. Теория какая-то. Но меня больше всего интересует, где я могу скинуть вещи, продать, имею в виду. Вот ко сну во сколько? 2:00, 3 часа спать. Больно. 5 часов. О, то есть 3 часа сна. Это мощно.
I'm going to absolutely murder the next quarterly report.
Нечего, блядь. Молчание. То есть весь ебаный хлам. Остры в замкнутом помещении. скучная игра. Реально очень скучно. Я в нее, собственно говоря, почему играю, потому что надо как-то в ритм входить. За счет этой игры я немножко тренируюсь, вырабатываю заново, так сказать, продолжительность игровых сессий. О, твою мать. Как-то можно их вот так вот ебать, нет? Скрыть. Ебануться долго. А чё? А, вот.
Activated.
I've had quite enough of you.
Красавец. Можете себе представить, что с дробовика с расстояния 1 метр по тебе, ну, по вам стреляют, да? А вот. И ты такой встаешь, блядь. Пиздец же. Сколько его штырит? интеллект, проницательность, попытаться обнаружить алгоритм.
Required.
Вот это хуйня. Вот это куда мы поедем сейчас? Интересно, интересно. Ёб твою мать, блядь.
One order of spick and span coming up. And maintenance job fulfilled.
Блять, давайте как-нибудь потом. Если надо что-то продать, то медленно буду ходить. Заебусь. Я уже, честно говоря, заебался. Нет, есть, оказалось.
Gotta keep going. I can feel my inner negativity seeping out of me. Breathe deep the fumes of revelation.
Ёбаный дебил. Ужас какой-то. А ведь это будущее. Абсолютно ненужное. 14 штук. Рассеивание оружия дальнего боя. Давайте десятку. Отдадим. Дальше что это что? Размер магазина. Ну давайте продадим. Что это? Электрический. Так. Плазменный.
About time somebody came the hell back. I notice you're not spattered in blood, which doesn't bode particularly well. For you. I hope you're not about to tell me you lost your nerve. You're rather unflappable, aren't you? I wish I were like that. Instead, I'm tense enough even when I don't have a dozen people not doing what I paid them to do. Pardon my tomfoolery, stranger. I see I've mistaken you for someone else. Victoria Foxworth, Rizzo's executive clerical actuator. Pleased to meet you. Might I ask what brings you to the reserve? A professional, I see. I don't know anything about any murder, but you might be just who I'm looking for. There's a particular task that my hunters haven't yet been capable enough to complete. I wonder if you'd have any interest in it. As you may be aware, Slug currently owns the reserve, but it rightfully belongs to Rizzo's. There's an ex-Rizzo's employee currently in possession of the land grant for the entire complex. Insult to injury from Slug. And evidence that this complex is rightfully ours. This particular individual is up there in years. His mind is failing. Leaving the land grant to him is like leaving it in the trash. I would like you to retrieve it. I would have thought so too, but I sent my scouts out ages ago and none have yet returned. The old man's certainly too senile to be a threat, but it's possible Slug put him under guard. You're not recognizably with Rizzo's, thus it shall be easier for you to get close. You mean you don't know the story? This atmospheric complex was first annexed by Rizzo's. We'd planned a lovely wildlife-themed attraction to be built here. Alas, due to some backhanded and admittedly shrewd legal footwork on Slug's part, Rizzo's ownership of the complex was lost. Now we rent it from Slug. I seek only to have what was stolen returned to us. Solve the situation however you like, so long as you bring me the land grant. The target in question lives out in the woods, exactly where I'm not certain. Best of luck.
It's not good enough. She said I must burn away the old me in order to be
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis suggests this to be a variety of herbs. Herbs have been uniformly treated with a pungent warning. Ingesting, smoking, or inserting non-corporation sanctioned substances into your ears may be harmful to your health. Side effects from extended exposure include dizziness, nausea, and unconsciousness. Additional likelihood of organ shutdown and/or death. Prior analysis suggests these herbs reach peak effectiveness when users burn them and inhale the resulting smoke. Whether or not this increased effectiveness is good for an afflicted individual has yet to be determined. Analyzing complete. Substance appears to be a mix of industrial solvents and various essential oils. Substances include woolly cow dander remover, sprat oil, and starship surface wax. Hypothesizing potential side effects from herb consumption. Most likely outcome, decapit.
Fruitful and productive welcome, brother. I had a feeling you would visit me. I offer a wide variety of productivity seminars. I hope you'll consider taking one. But I should remember my manners. To what do I owe the pleasure of the Special Inspector's arrival? We indoctrinate people in the back. Oh! Wait, that was a jibe, wasn't it? With that said, I'd love to involve you in one of my productivity seminars. We should clear you of all those nasty, nasty humors hampering your potential. Absolutely not. Any statements by Miss Helen about us were blown out of proportion and altered by the media. In fact, she quite recently... excuse me. I seem to be remembering something that never happened. Whatever the case, I'm sure her speech about us was all a misunderstanding. We offer a wide variety of seminars for all your corporate needs. Employees not working hard enough? Employees dying too often? It's most likely your managerial humors. And of course, seminars for balancing the energies of your business offices. Interior decorating is much more important for success than many would believe. If any of this sounds at all interesting to you, might I interest you in the first 82 words of our most popular seminar's introduction? Free of charge. Byzantines live lives fraught with competition, and that competition can be immensely stressful. You must, first of all, find a way to balance your thinking. Think not of bits lost, but of those you have yet to gain. After all, peace leads to productivity, and productivity leads to profit. Though thought alone won't balance you. We have a strict regimen to promote humor clearing. Session attendees stand on burning coals, sit for hours in our productivity smokehouse, and of course, fast throughout. Precisely. The barriers within yourself will break down as your skin sweats and blisters, giving the evil humors the proper space to escape. It's my patented method. I'm pleased that you noticed. Excellent eye, brother. The compound they're treated with is my own invention, designed to unlock an individual's true productive potential when burned. I can't say any more. Trade secrets, you know. None of my clients have ever complained, so I'm sure they're perfectly safe. Is there anything else? Yes, that's correct. She made it clear that my seminars were of no interest to her. Well, I suppose that does complicate things. Whatever the case, I didn't care to mention Helen's change in decision because she never showed up. I don't see how it matters. Oh? I'm surprised. I wouldn't think the two of us would have much to discuss about her. We may have had some terse interactions before her death, which I most certainly regret. But beyond those, well, never mind. What would you care to know? Why, I've been at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve for quite some time now, as my disciples can attest. In fact, I haven't visited the Colonials since I arrived several weeks ago. Bad energies. You understand. I wouldn't necessarily say that. The media tends to exaggerate. I will admit that her remarks about my seminars were rather unfortunate. However, I certainly wouldn't sharpen any sabers over it, if that's what you mean to imply. I only do that when my clients skimp on their bills. I did not. She had no interest in my seminars, and I had no interest in attempting to convert a stubborn actress. Why would I have had any cause to engage with her further? Well, I suppose that does complicate things. Whatever the case, I didn't care to mention Helen's change in decision because she never showed. Welcome. I'm delighted to extend my desire.
Странная хрень, на нее все еще показывает. Вам нужно допросить пророчицу, прибыли понять, имеет ли она отношение к убийству Алкионской. Пророчица ведет семинары. Так. Ну вот, я с ней поговорил.
Welcome. I'm what? I hope.
А вот. Пиздец. Это, кстати, баг. Это долбанный баг. Проверьте Арию. Ну давайте поговорим. Это, кстати, ебаный баг. Давайте вот это вот спросим.
Hello, welcome to the Prophet of Profitability's Private Prosperity Retreat. Stay positive, and soon all your humors will be balanced. Least, that's what I keep telling myself. Anyway, I'm Aaliyah Mason. I work as the Prophet's right-hand woman. What can I do for you? If you felt imbalanced and unproductive, linger in your malaise no longer. We have all the amenities and practices for calming the ill humors strangling your potential. Sit for hours in our sweat house and sweat them out, or stand amidst burning coals and feel your productive inhibitions burn away. And remember, think positive. Positivity equals productivity equals profitability. Of course, I've been studying under her for years. I know each of her techniques more or less by heart, and even have some variations of my own, such as the quintuple daily stomach purges. She's promised me that I'd be allowed to open my own branch of the retreat someday soon. Of course, I've been waiting on someday soon for coming up on 4 years now. I'm sure it's gonna happen anytime now. Oh, terribly sorry if I gave you that impression. I had a cramp. It's better now. I mean, it might be nice if I had a little inclination of whether the Prophet appreciated all the cooking and cleaning and hours of meditation I do on a daily basis. But whatever she thinks isn't for me to question. I'll do my best to be more chipper. Oh my. Yes, this is important enough for me to delay my bi-hourly self-flagellation. Ask away. Well, by and large, no. But something rather odd did happen regarding the Prophet recently. A few hours after our high-profile visitor arrived a couple of days ago, the Prophet asked me to take over sessions for the remainder of the day. At first, I was excited. Thought it was my chance to show her what I could do in charge. But then I saw that she was deeply worried about something. No one saw her until the next day. I was here at the retreat in the company of the other disciples and clients. I rarely have more than a few minutes of alone time. Which is fine, of course. I do what I do in the service of the Prophet, who will, I'm sure, reward me for my sacrifice. Eventually. Yes, the circumstances there are quite unfortunate. For a time, the Prophet was completely despondent. Even the hot coal walks weren't buoying her spirits as they usually do. However, we recently had a high-profile visitor whose presence seemed to alleviate whatever the Prophet's fears were. Oh, you must have misheard me. I said high profile, not had profile. Mr. Woolrich comes by much too often to be worth mentioning. Certainly. Actually, before you go, I want to report something suspicious. I noticed the Prophet dragging something, a bundle, away from the retreat after that high-profile guest arrived. Normally, I'm the one who does her laundry. So it was strange. Especially because whatever she was dragging seemed oddly human-shaped. I think so. Had the right size and shape. I could have, but I generally don't have the time or energy to leave the reserve to contact anyone. Plus, there's always the possibility that I'm mistaken. The Prophet hasn't been herself lately, but if I misinterpreted the situation and reported her improperly, I'd ruin my chances for opening my own wing of the retreat.
В общем, и на этом эту часть прохождения завершим. Так, где это все? Здесь, да?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Identifying human footprints leading out into the wilderness. Scanning. No. Helen's distinctive shoe size not found. Judging by footprint depressions and shoe size, these prints were either made by the Prophet of Profitability or Adjutant Sophia Akande. Error. Recalibrating.
Смотрите, стреляет какой-то хуйней. Пиздец. Урон, конечно, такой мощный.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Где, чё, куда? Вот, да?
Detected additional tracks belonging to the Prophet of Profitability.
Kill Germ. Centrifuge mode activated.
Here's a little trick I learned in prison.
Congratulations, customer. customer. Your SAM unit is performing at peak capacity.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Judging by the shape of this indentation in the dirt, a person of medium height and build laid here for a number of hours. Scanning for other details. Only additional signs of disturbance are a few marks in the dirt. No sign of struggle or evidence of wildlife consumption of body. Suspected likelihood of user correctness, 86%. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Detected additional tracks belonging to the Prophet of Profitability.
Welcome back. I'm delighted to extend my desire. Who said that? I'll be sure to give them a special seminar on not needlessly implicating the person who puts food on their table. It was a bundle of clothing, brother. Even productivity geniuses need to do laundry from time to time. I'd say that I have a lot of clothing, but I think you already know that we prophets only have a moderate amount of worldly possessions. I had a visitor, yes, but as it turned out, some of my productivity techniques were too much for them. I had to drag them out by hand, but their peers came and collected them shortly thereafter. I'm sure whichever attendee it was is perfectly safe now. Oh, really? What did you find there? What did I dump? Clever work, Inspector. It seems even I can't slide my way out of the trap you've so intricately weaved. I admit it. I killed Helen by mistake. Helen changed her mind and wanted to attend one of my sessions. I, knowing the importance of the seminar, desired to truly galvanize her, though not to stop her heart. So when it came time, I chose to double Helen's dosage of productivity-enhancing herbs. I left her to meditate, and when I returned, she was dead. After that, I entered a less than coherent state. One of my disciples, it seems, witnessed me as I dragged Helen's body out into the wilderness. Laws, no. I hate guns. If I ever wanted to kill someone on purpose, I would have used a blunt weapon. Nothing quite like clubbing someone over the head. I'm no medical professional, but that certainly seemed the case. Usually my customers at least writhe or mumble after a session. My productivity-enhancing herbs typically do induce sluggishness, but I suppose they must have been enough to do her in if her constitution was truly that weak. Do you jest? The guests at the Colonial eat no shortage of strange things, but I think corpses are perhaps too strange. The creatures of the wilderness are much less picky. Besides, the hotel is ridiculously far. I couldn't have made it all that way without someone realizing I was dragging a corpse. What? Is this some kind of joke? You're an inspector. It's your job to arrest me, isn't it? I don't believe you. I think this is all a trick. You're trying to catch me in a lie. Get me to reveal my productivity secrets. No. Someone must have moved it after I killed her. One of my business rivals, waiting for me to fall into a false sense of security so they can strike. No. You can't trick me. I finally discovered what's happening. You've been paid off. Someone else learned that I killed Helen and is going to use that information to blackmail me. You think I'm going to let this injustice happen? Ha! Tell the constable that I killed Helen. It's 1,000 times less miserable than whatever my enemies have planned. You monster! What am I supposed to do now? They'll be here soon. And once they arrive, I'll be powerless. Powerless! I just want to go to prison! Is that so wrong?
Сумасшедшая какая-то. Как и все вот эти вот тренеры, блядь, продуктивности ебучей. В общем, давайте сейчас добежим до лифта. До того. И завершим на этом эту часть прохождения. Сюда вот. Да, в принципе, да, доедем. Вот тут вот. Ладно. Подписывайтесь на канал, ставьте лайкосы, помогайте продвигаться в этом нелегком деле. Стримов, да, продвинуться сейчас тяжело, без бабла, без бабосиков, вот, поэтому всем удачи.